Alright, let's go do this. Hey YouTube, Magic Mike here, redneck from mid-Missouri. Going to do a review of this 2008 CRV. Is it a good used car for a fat guy or girl, I guess? So, just got in. I'm gonna do a little driving here to see what it feels like. Just kind of give you an overall review. We'll pull over up here and do some measurements on the door opening and the door height to get in, and the seat height as compared to the ground. You know, all those things that a fat person cares about getting in and out of a car. So I've driven this vehicle a few times and I've put a few miles on it, so I kind of have a understanding of these CRVs and the little quirks they have and what they don't have. You know, overall they're a Honda, so they're really reliable. These particular years, I believe it's 07, 08, and a few more. The main issue they have with them is the air conditioner compressor. There was some sort of issue with them, and once you get them over 100,000 miles, it's sort of like Russian roulette of when the damn air conditioning compressor is going to go out. And that's between a $600 and $800 fix, depending on where you go. This one went out on this particular car at $120. I have a friend that's got a 2009, and hers went out at $140. So you just never know, but it will happen. So if you buy one of those cars, keep that in mind. If the compressor hadn't been replaced, it probably will be. Other than that, there's no real other big maintenance problems with these cars if you go on. But anyway, the seating position, you know, the seat is a little narrow, you know, for a fat person, and the bolsters on these seats are a little narrow, so I can kind of feel it pinching my fat on the sides, you know, around my belly. The other thing is there's a center console here, a little mini console, like where the shifter is, and I'll turn the camera around and show it to you when we park, but my right knee touches it as I'm driving, and I hate that. It's not bad because it's smooth and rounded and at an angle where it don't bother you a lot. And then your left leg touches the handle of the door. You know, if they would raise the handle up another few inches, you would clear that and you would have a lot better spread, you know, of your legs. The pedal's in good position as far as your foot. I'm going to pull over here and we'll stop and talk about this car a little more. The gas pedal is in a good angle, you know, so when your legs are spread out, and the gas pedal on some vehicles is way up in there and it really cramps your foot just to even get to it, but this one's fine. The brake pedal's fine. Overall, these CRVs, you know, they don't have a lot of insulation in them on the highway, so there's some wind noise involved in these cars. So I'm parked. So there's some wind noise. You know, the ride's decent, but you know, it's not like a luxury car by any means. The motor, they're bulletproof. You know, it's got that VTEC in it, but 4-cylinder. But you know, it does shake just a little vibration. They all do that. Even when this vehicle is brand new, it did that. Especially when you have it, you know, in park, or when you're sitting at a stoplight and you're in drive, you know, you can feel it. Like the motor mounts in this thing are like more rigid than they could be, but they probably did that for, you know, longevity's sake. I mean, who knows? Here's the position while I'm driving. My knee is hitting this, but it is smooth, you know, and it is at an angle to where it don't bother me so much. I forgot another quirk this vehicle has is the fan on the radiator. That fan runs and kicks on and off constantly. I mean, more than any other vehicle I've ever been in. And they all do that. I've been in like 6 of these CRVs of these year models, and it's like whoa, whoa, all the time, and it's pretty freaking annoying. But it's never gone out. It's got 131,000 miles on it, but something, you know, that irritates me. All right, so if you can see that, the foot position for the gas pedal is not bad. In some cars, you know, they're way up in here and you're really torquing your foot, but this one's okay. That's okay. And your left leg hits this handle right here, and it's just a hard, smooth, flat surface, but it does rest against that. Sitting your arm is very comfortable. I don't know if you can see that, but there's an armrest here. It's really long and flat. It's comfortable here, and in the center there's nothing to lay your arm on. There is an armrest that folds down, as you can see here, but it's skinny, and you can only rest a little bit of your arm on it. So it kind of is right in the center of your arm, sort of on the pivot point, and it's uncomfortable. So if they would have made that a lot longer, that would have been better for a fat person. So anyway, we'll get out of the car and we'll review the seat height opening to get in and the door opening, and that'll be it. So I'll be right back. So headroom, I'll take my hat off and you can see my hair, but headroom, you know, I don't know how many inches that is, but probably a good 4 inches of headroom, and I'm 6'2"-ish, and the seat is in a comfortable position for me, so headroom's not a problem unless you're probably 6'6". Okay. Alright, seat belt. It is adjustable right here, up and down. I just have it sort of in the center, but we'll buckle this thing up. And it sets just fine. It hits you right here in the left shoulder in a comfortable position, and there's not a lot of tension on it, so you know it's comfortable. It's one of the better seat belts out there as far as that goes. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. Can you see? These bolsters here is what hit you, and they're pretty deep. But we'll go to the overall seat is 21. Okay, seat bottom 21, and actually the area without the bolsters where you sit in the center, it's 13.5. So I'll mark that on there too. All right, so seat bottom, the very back of the seat, this is the seat all the way back to the lowest part of the headliner is 37.5. 37.5, baby. All right. So the width, you know, to get in here, the overall door width opening is 35. And from the sill to the very top of the door at the widest point is 43. And like I said, the ground to the seat bottom was 27.5. Okay, that takes care of most of those. Okay, there it is with my seat back to where I want to drive with it. That's how much leg room the rear passenger would have. So this particular model is the loaded one. It's a EX. So the seat is really adjustable. Like you can move this up and down, this back and forth. And you can go down, up, tilt. So anyway, but the issue is these bolsters right here and right here hit your fat, you know what I'm saying? So there you go. Okay, I'm back on. Let's go through the features of the interior of this vehicle. Here on the dash, there is a multifunction button which allow you to scroll through the odometer and trip A and trip B just like a normal car. When you shift this thing, park, reverse, neutral, drive, 1, 2, just like usual. Okay. And then we'll go to the left, the VSA, which is, a nanny. And we have the left, right, and that adjusts your side mirrors. It's an electronic deal. This is an EX model, like I said, so it might have more bells and features than another vehicle. Okay, so let's go to the stalks on the steering wheel. Here we have the lights on, off, blah blah blah, but it's not automatic, like a normal whatever would. We have the volume and channel and mode button. These operate the radio controls, mode, AM, FM, CD. This particular one has a CD changer. This is since 2008. We have a push to talk and back control here, cruise control, and when you're out on the highway, you push this cruise control button and it turns main cruise on. I'll turn it off and on where you can see it there, and that means the cruise is activated. And then you can hit this button here to set the cruise control to set 60 miles an hour, and if you want to go up to 62 you hit Excel, 64 you hit Excel, down 1 mile per hour at a time to decel, and then hit cancel to stop it. Okay, and that's it there. We go to the left side here. We have the typical window controls and window lockout, for kids. Okay, we'll go back to the center here. I'm hot, so I'm going to turn this down. We have dual climate controls, driver, passenger, and this is your shift selector, park, reverse, neutral, drive, 1, just usual. And then this is your seat heaters for driver and passenger. As you can tell, there's a high, off, low on each one of those. Just normal stuff. When you go over to the left side here, there's a little compartment for papers and things like that. And then there's a lockable, I used to call this a glove box, but some people call it a dash box, kind of thing. So anyway, and then in the center console, you have, in this particular one, you have a, can you guys even see that? Okay, yeah, CD changer there, and then storage. And I have no idea why she has an empty toilet paper roll in her center storage compartment. Okay, well, let's go to the outside and we'll just take a look around the outside of it. We'll pop the hood and you guys can see what's under the hood is like, but the hood release latch is kind of up underneath the footwell here, and also there's a little change bin here, and there's the gas fuel door release. Alright, this is what it looks like under the hood. Like I said, it's a VTEC 2.4 dual overhead cam. The battery always seems a little small to me, 625 cold cranking amps, but it's so tiny, and the vehicle turns over slow, but they all do that. All of them I've ever been in do that kind of thing. So anyway, fuse box here, air box here. The only things to really worry about on these is, checking the oil here, and windshield washer fluid here, and everything else is in its typical place on here. Transmission fluid check is kind of down here underneath the battery, this yellow handle, and I have a video of servicing that, so we'll do a walk around of the vehicle here. These headlights are pretty bright. As you can tell, this one doesn't sit in the garage much because it's got this hazing on the top of it kind of deal. These are the factory size tires on here. They're, if you can't read that, it's a 225/65 R17. This car does have 4-wheel disc brakes. So that's what it's like. I had a trailer hitch on this one for a while, Yes, my wife is from the Philippines. Core 1 Honda, sold this vehicle. You can't open this gas filler door without pulling the handle inside. And see this? The metal on these are very thin on the sides. So don't be a fat guy and lean up against it, or else you'll put this little crease in here. Let me get these leaves out of here. I don't want my Honda to rust up in this area. Okay, we'll go back inside the car and whip out the clipboard and do a fat boy scoring system on this 2008 CRV. I wanted to point out that it takes 5 W20 oil. Alright, as you can tell, this is my FBSS Fat Boy Scoring System 2.0, and I got my little fat stig on here. Alright, spread. I cannot give this a high score on spread. I'm only giving it a 6 because my knees hit both sides. Okay. Headroom, I'm going to give it an 8 because we have several inches left over. Or leg room, I'm going to give it an 8. No issues at all there. Seating flexibility. Okay. Since this model has got the adjustable 6-way adjustable seats on it, it scores higher. But since the seat width and comfort and all that is kind of sucky because of the thin material and all that stuff, you know, I'm gonna only give this a 6.5. Ease of entry, for me it's really good. The door opens up wide. It's got plenty of room to get in. You don't hit your head all the time, blah blah blah. So ease of entry, I'm going to give it an 8. Seat width, that's one of the issues. The seat bottom width and the seat back width is too narrow for a fat person, you know. I mean, it could be worse. It's not like a old Corvette or a Miata or something like that. But anyway, that's only going to get a 5. Arm position comfort, the left side of the driver's by the door, that arm position is good. The right side with that little tiny, you know, fold down armrest is not good. So arm position comfort, you know, if it had a better one, I would give it a higher score on the left side. But overall, arm position comfort, I'm only going to give it a 5.5. Gas pedal comfort, 6. Center console comfort, well, I can't rate that because it doesn't have one. You can't rest your arm on it at all. So that's a big NA here. Okay. Seat padding, you know, it's thin. And I got the most luxurious EX blah 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 version of this vehicle. So it's only going to get a 5. Seat belt is good. It doesn't tug. It's got very low friction, you know, on it. Like, it's not trying to like pull tight against your body all the time. It's got a very good spring tension, you know, I can say. Quiet, this vehicle is not that quiet. I would say it's just average at best. I'm going to go to 5. Cost, you know, you can buy these used really reasonably, and it's a good bang for the buck. You know what I'm saying, as far as if you're going to own it for many years. You know, like I said, this is an '08, and I'm shooting this video in 2018, and I can still get thousands of dollars out of this car if I go to sell it, even with 130,000 miles. So, cost, you know, I'm going to give that an 8. Okay. Reliability, I am going to give that an 8.5. Because I've seen these go almost up to 1 million miles on Auto Trader and places like that. The only other, you know, issue with that, I'll put a little star here, is the AC compressor, and we already talked about that. Alright, so that's my Fat Boy scoring system, 2008 Honda CRV EX. Alright, and I'll just flip through the second page here. The measurements that we took earlier, I'll just review them. The door opening here is 42 inches. The butt of the seat as compared to the ground, you know, like my torso is good at 27. This is 27.5, so it's almost straight across from me, and I'm 6'1", 6'2". The height of the door to where you have to duck under to get in is 61 inches, and it didn't seem to be a problem. And then once you're inside, you get an extra 2 inches before you hit the headliner. Okay. The door opening width, and this is the door frame we're talking about, is 35. The door opening height, that's the door frame, is 43. The seat to the bottom we already talked about is 27.5. The actual measurements of the seat itself that you're sitting on, the seat bottom is 21, but between the bolsters is 13.5, and that is a big negative for a fat person right there. The seat bottom to the headliner is 37.5, which is decent for a tall person. So anyway, that's my fat boy scoring system, and I'm going to sign off. Peace out. The weather outside is frightful, but it's so delightful. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It's time to go home and upload YouTube videos. No one ever watches them anyway. I don't get many views, but I don't care. Yeah, I watched Tavares. He's one of the guys I watch on there because he's pretty cool. He bought a Bentley Continental GT from a guy named Hoovie's Garage. I also subscribe to his channel. He's pretty damn funny. Motortrend.com/oversteer or something like that. I don't know. I follow him on YouTube. He buys and sells cars all the time. Does crazy shit to him. He's got a really cool mechanic named the Car Wizard that works for him. Anyway, Tavares bought a Continental GT from Hoovie for $11,000. It's got something wrong with the engine. Like one bank has got, it's a 12-cylinder, you know, and one bank has got low compression, I guess. And he's got a big vacuum leak or something. You can hear it sucking whenever he's driving it, but he said it runs like crap. So it's kind of weird that he would have bad compression on all of the cylinders in one bank. You know, it makes me think that it might be something easier to fix than, like, I don't know, maybe the head got warped. I have no idea. Maybe he just needs a new head, but I think the dude is gonna try to put a whole new engine in the car, but who knows? They're rich. They can do what they want. They're big time YouTube ballers, and they make thousands and thousands of dollars every time they do a video, so they can afford to do that kind of stuff. I'm a poor redneck from Missouri, so anyway. Well, it is a nice day out. 48 degrees Fahrenheit. I got 90% oil life on this CRV. Just changed the transmission fluid in it, just done the brakes on it. Should be good to go for my wife for another year or two. Anyway, I'm just talking to myself. This will never make it on the YouTube video, but no one will watch it anyway. But anyway. Oh, I'm almost home. Yeah, it looks like the Toyota Venza's there. Maybe I'll do a video on it, because I bought that car specifically for my grandma to get in and out of. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll grab the keys to that and do a video of that soon enough. Well, maybe we'll do a Falcon review too. Anyway. Alright, peace out.